The Green Bay Packers can go win the Super Bowl tomorrow. It has never been more clear to me that this team is ready to get over the hump and go win the Super Bowl in a brutal division, in a brutal conference. I am all in on the Green Bay Packers. What an unbelievable move that they made to trade for Micah Parsons, this blockbuster trade. It can't even be put into words how massive it is right before the season starts, just 1 week away. The Dallas Cowboys trade away one of the best defensive players in the sport. The guy that is the favorite to win the Defensive Player of the Year, Micah Parsons, is unbelievable. Every single statistic in his first 4 years is up there with some of the greatest of all time. That is how good Micah Parsons is at the pass rushing spot. And this was a deal that kind of came out of nowhere. There were some inklings like, yeah, maybe if Micah gets dealt, he's going to go to the Packers. And some people thought a few days ago before the move happened, like, well, the Packers have the outline of a trade, but we don't actually think Jerry's going to look at it until he's ready to really trade Micah Parsons. And he's played this hard to get, this cat and mouse game with other players before, with Dak Prescott, with CeeDee Lamb. So we didn't think that this would be anything new with Micah. And that's why this was so surprising that on Thursday, one of the best defensive players in the league gets traded to the Green Bay Packers. The NFL world blows up, and it's deservedly so. This was so unexpected, so league-altering, and I am so excited for this NFL season. I can't believe we're only a few days away here. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Caden Kubler, and thank you for joining us today. Let's talk about the entirety of this situation with Micah Parsons. Can the Green Bay Packers now go win the Super Bowl? This is unbelievable. On Thursday, this league-altering move where Micah Parsons was sent to the Green Bay Packers for 2 first-round picks, and Kenny Clark shocked the NFL world. He is now the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history at 4 years, $188 million. Resets the market. This is just massive for the Green Bay Packers. And for the Cowboys, I really feel like they got fleeced in this trade. I don't think Kenny Clark's a bad player at all, but you only got 2 first-round picks. That's how many picks Brian Burns was traded for when he went to New York from Carolina. And I'm sorry, but Micah Parsons is in this tier with, TJ Watt, Myles Garrett and company, 2 guys that reset the edge market this offseason. And that was why Micah thought he deserved more money. And Green Bay said, hey, we'll pay you that money. Come on over and let's go win a Super Bowl. This is an unbelievable move for the Packers. I think that this is a move that now is going to get them into this next stratosphere. When you look at the NFC North, we understand the talent that's there. You have a 15-win Detroit Lions team that was there last year. You had a 14-win Minnesota Vikings team that was there last year. And the Green Bay Packers won 11 games and were the 7th seed in the NFC. Now, you had struggles with Jordan Love. He struggled with consistency because of the injuries that he faced last year. And believe me, I'm the biggest Jordan Love defender on planet Earth, and I believe he's in for a massive bounce back season. My biggest complaint last year for the Green Bay Packers was that they did not get him a true number 1 wide receiver, and that's exactly what they did this offseason. We all know how they drafted, for the first time since 2002, a wide receiver in the first round, and of course, that was Matthew Golden out of Texas, and by all reports, he's been the best receiver on the Packers, which is just a great sign if you are a Green Bay fan, because now Jordan Love is going to have the best offense around him that he's ever had. You look at the reemergence, I should say, of Josh Jacobs last year. This was a guy that really was kind of kicked to the curb after Las Vegas had said they didn't want him anymore. He goes to the Green Bay Packers and he rushes for over 1,300 yards last year. He has 15 touchdowns. He was really the staple of this offense while the receiving core was a revolving door. Jordan Love couldn't stay consistently healthy. Now it's like, okay, the receiving core is the best it's ever been for Jordan Love. You get Josh Jacobs, who's now the firm staple of this offense. You have a healthy Jordan Love, and now you have Micah Parsons defensively. I think the sky's the limit for this Green Bay team. I really do. I felt that this was a Super Bowl contending team before this Micah move. Now I'm even more confident about it because the NFC is so tough. There's no denying that. There's no denying that this is going to be a brutal division. Green Bay is now the favorite to win the division. Ultimately, it's going to come down to Jordan Love. Jordan Love is a quarterback that is in this tier where he can be inside of the top 10 when he's healthy, in my opinion. People are so quick to forget he's only entering year 3 as a starting quarterback in the National Football League, which is unbelievable. That's the same thing as CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud, even though Jordan Love had 2 years to sit behind Rodgers and technically he's entering year 5, he's only started in the league for 2 years. That's the same as CJ Stroud. So that's the type of upside you're going to get with Jordan Love. In year 1, he threw for over 4,000 passing yards, had over 30 touchdowns, had a tremendous year. He nearly got the Green Bay Packers into the NFC Championship in his quote unquote rookie year as a starter. And then last year, it's his second season. I guess if you want to quote it that sophomore slump, you can. I look at it more as, okay, this team was super injured. Jordan Love really was just trying to grind it out, and the receiving core was a revolving door, and they still win 11 games. Jordan Love never had a true number 1 wide receiver, in my opinion. And Josh Jacobs even said that this offseason, and it offended some guys in the receiving room, like, hey, we need a true number 1 guy for Jordan Love. And everybody could admit, like, you see these guys take the biggest strides of their career when they finally get a true number 1 receiver. Justin Herbert, right out of college, he's got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams to help him thrive. Josh Allen, once he got Stephon Diggs, he really thrived. Drake May now gets Stephon Diggs. He's got this opportunity to thrive. You look at Jaden Daniels, fresh out of college, when he goes to the Commanders. He's got Terry McLaurin. Now he gets Deebo Samuel. These guys are able to thrive once they have weapons. And it's not that Green Bay had a bad receiving core. They had a decent one, but Jordan Love made this team so much better than it actually was. So you've got to go help him out. And I believe that's exactly what they did. This Green Bay team now is more than capable enough of being an explosive juggernaut on offense. We all understand the offensive mastermind and what Matt LaFleur can do to help this team. They've been in the playoffs each of the last 2 years. This is a coach that doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion, for what he does in terms of being a winner. This Green Bay team wins, and that's what their identity has been under Matt LaFleur. I'm all in on Jordan Love. I know a lot of people are like, well, this is kind of a make or break year for Jordan Love. This is kind of a prove it year. I'm like, why? He's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. He's only going into year 5. He's going into year 3 as a starter. He was injured all of last year, and he gets injured a few weeks before the season starts this season. So he gets surgery on his left hand to make sure he's ready to go for week 1. And by all reports, he's going to be ready to go for week 1. But Jordan Love, to me, has been nothing but a consummate professional. He sat behind Rodgers for 2 years. He learned this Packers offense. Now he's the guy. He's never demanded a number 1 receiver. He's never been a diva, quote unquote. He's been the guy. And I love Jordan Love's approach. I think he is a stud. He doesn't get enough credit for how good of a quarterback he is. And that's what's been lost in this entire equation. Jordan Love is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And we're approaching this season where nobody's talking about him. Now everybody's talking about the Green Bay Packers, of course, because Micah's here. And this is a Micah-centric video. I'm excited for the Green Bay Packers, but I want to turn this into like a, hey, let's realize how great of a quarterback Jordan Love is, because I've been talking about him all offseason. You can go back to a few months ago. Back in May, I was saying that Jordan Love is a dark horse MVP candidate, and I still feel that way. And we all know that with being an MVP candidate, you have to have the stats, but you also have to have the wins. Now, I think everything's falling into place for Jordan Love and this Green Bay team to win more football games with maybe the best defensive player on the planet and Micah Parsons. That's not a bad little option there. Jordan Love might win this MVP award this year. By all accounts, I'm excited to see what he can do. I really think with Matthew Golden and Jaden Reed, who's a dog, and they're going to get Christian Watson a little later on in the season because he's banged up a little bit right now. Dontavian Wicks is also banged up. Savion Williams, who they drafted out of TCU. They've got some injuries in the receiving core. That's been the thorn in their side in the Jordan Love era. But if they're ready to go, this Packers team is going to be one of the best teams in football. I think an underrated part of this team as well, now that they get Micah Parsons, I was so thrilled with how this defense played last year in that wild card game. Jordan Love threw 3 interceptions against the Eagles, and there was a point in time in that game in the second half where Green Bay had an opportunity to really strike and potentially take over that game. Like, I think they were down 10 points and Jordan Love had 3 interceptions. The defense kept them in that game against one of the best offenses in football. This defense is going to be unbelievable this year. I'm all in on a Jordan Love turnaround. I'm all in on Romeo Doubs being a Brian Thomas Jr. / Malik Neighbors level of good in his rookie season. I think that's what you can expect out of Matthew Golden, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. He's going to have a monster season, and now you get Micah Parsons. This is an unbelievable move. I never could have seen this coming. Nobody could have ever seen this coming, and the fact that this move happened right before the season is unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable. Nobody thought that Micah Parsons would be in a Packers uniform right now. Maybe a few people are like, oh, I'm holding out hope. Deep down in the back of your mind, you knew that Jerry would probably give Micah a huge deal, that a transition like this would just be way too league altering. Players of Micah Parsons' caliber don't just get traded on a random Thursday the week before the football season starts. That never happens. You could make a serious argument that this is one of the biggest trades in NFL history, and a lot of people have said that. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys got enough, if I'm being completely honest, for Micah Parsons. 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark. This is Micah Parsons we're talking about here. This is the best defensive player in football that we're talking about here. A guy that's recorded 12 sacks in each of his first 4 seasons and is on a Hall of Fame pace right now. Through 4 seasons. He's going into his 5th year. This is unreal for the Green Bay Packers. I am so excited to see what they can be for this upcoming year. If I had to give an official prediction right now, this is a team that will make the playoffs. This is a team that will win the NFC North. I think it's going to be them and Minnesota, as a matter of fact, that are going to be the 2 teams that are really gutting it out to try and get that top seed in the NFC North. I believe that the Green Bay Packers can go on a run and win the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen, but it's ultimately going to come down to Jordan Love. If Jordan Love is a better version of his quote-unquote rookie year from 2023, this team can win the Super Bowl, but it's going to come down to Jordan Love at the end of the day. I believe in him. Let's not overreact on the season he had last year. I'm all in on this Green Bay Packers team, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Caden Kubler, and thank you guys for watching.